Right, so I've got my cache there all done. Okay, see it's all working. So make sure you got load from disk on there. So what I'm going to do straight away now is just split this in two. So I want the flag and pole on one side. Okay, so just to render them separately. So let's call this flag. And oops. Well, I should put out, always a good idea. Out, flag, render. Okay, and then I'm going to drop another null here and call this out crowd. But I'm not going to render it from here. I'm going to render it from another geo. Okay, so I'm just going to drop another geometry node. Call this crowd render. I want it in lowercase just because all the others are. And then jump in here, object merge, and grab that out. And sim out crowd. Yes, great. So in the previous project, we unpacked all of our agents so that we could apply the textures to them, right? So right now all I can do is apply a material or a texture or an attribute to the whole agent, yeah? But we have textures for each part of the agent separately. And one way of doing that is unpacking, and then you get access to different parts of that agent. But with so many crowd agents as we've got at the moment, we've got thousands. Let's see, 17,000 agents, you know, and then you multiply 17,000 by however many points there are in each agent, then that's quite a lot, probably too much for my, well, in my case, my computer to handle. Okay, so first of all, I'm just going to grab a delete here and just isolate some of these agents. Right, and I'm just going to set it to wireframe for a moment. So it's a bounding box. I set it to wireframe just because it goes, it calculates much quicker. Okay, just to grab a chunk of these while we configure the textures. Delete non-selected, there we go, and then focus in on that. Rails, drop a null underneath. Also, another thing, if you remember in the other course, in the other class, we had an attribute, a randomized attribute on our agent, so we'll do the same thing again. So not CD, we'll just call this rand, and again it will be uniform discrete, yeah, with one dimension between 0 and 2, as we got three textures, 0, 1, and 2. Let's just double check that. If we go to T on points, and should be rand there, yeah, rand. So 0, 1, and 2. Great, so we can use that texture to randomize our textures. Use that attribute to randomize our textures, sorry. Okay, so what we're going to do is use something called a material style sheet. Okay, so to get access to them, what we do is come here to add a new pane, come down to inspectors, data tree, and then material style sheets. And then if we open this out, we can look at our whole scene and grab the crowd render, right click on that, add a style sheet parameter. Okay, so it's a bit different to the way that we're normally used to working in Houdini, but you know, it's not too complex. You can once you get used to it, it's not too bad. So the idea is that we can get access to the, well, in our case, the agent shapes is what we're interested in, the body separately, trousers or pants, I think they're called in this case, the shirts, hat, hair, and everything separately. Okay, and then apply textures to them. So first of all, let's look at our materials. I'm going to jump back here, go into my material view, and I'm actually just going to delete all of these and drop a principled shader, just the one. Call this agents. So just like before, I'm just going to bump up the roughness to about 8. Set the color to white because all of our textures will be multiplied by this. Okay, the rest of it I'll leave it as it is. Come back here. Okay, and then jump into our style sheet. So we need to kind of, the way this works is it works in layers. So at the moment we have access to the whole object. Then if we go down, yeah, so if we set a material now, okay, so I can add a style. So if I right click and add style, there we go. And I'm going to rename this. So we just need one of the, we just need to do this one time. Set material. Okay, so this is going to set material. Press enter. It doesn't save it, otherwise it's a bit annoying. Set material, and then I'm going to right click, add an override. So this is the action I want to perform on my my agents, and I don't want to set a material parameter. I want to set the material, and then the value here is the actual material that I want to set, which is this agent. Okay, so once I grab that, right, I just noticed there that I don't have this material viewer on. I just checked it off by accident. So yeah, once we click that, we can see that this material is applied correctly, and you know, we're not applying it here or within in SOP at all. If you come here to your geometry node, and then you can see we've got a new tab called shaders, and in here you can see the code version of what we're doing in the material style sheets there. Okay, so the more we add there, you'll see it pop up in here. So let's see, what else can we do? So we've got the material, that's great, but we want to have more control, right? So let's add another style. Back up to the style sheet, add style, and this one I'm going to rename this and call this body. Body, enter to save it. Okay, and again add target. Targets will be primitive, so now we can target any primitive in this area. And now what I'm going to do is add a condition. Okay, so that means I can use the attributes or whatever to point at somewhere in particular. Okay, and we've got lots of different options here, groups and stuff. I want to use an attribute, and the attribute is the name, and the name will be man. Okay, so that will allow me to access each man individually. Okay, and now I want to go down a further level because I want to attach the texture to the body part of each man, right? So we need to go down into another level. So what we do there is, if we come up here to the target, right click and go to sub target, so that we go down again, and this will be primitives again, and right click and add another condition. Okay, so what do we do? How do we make a selection down at this level now? And we want to, now we have, if you come here, you can see we got access to the agent shape. If you remember, the agent shape is the body, the pants, trousers, the shirts, hats, and so forth. Okay, so then we can write something in here. Write body. I use these asterisks to select anything with body inside. Okay, and now what do I want to do here? So I need, just like here, I want to add an override. Add override, and this time I do want to change the material parameter, and I want to not change the name but the base color. So I can either just write in here sorry, not the base color, the texture, right? So I can either write in here base color underscore texture. I think it's like this. Or if you don't know, obviously, you know what this is, you can just go into here and find whatever parameter you're trying to change, right? So in our case, it will be textures, base color, and the texture, this, right? And that will give you the, whoop, that's not correct for some reason. Let's try that again. Press enter. There we go, we got it there. Base color, texture, okay? And then the value will be the path to that texture. So let's try, see if we can get that working. So I'm going to jump into my hip, into my textures, grab the man texture and find the body. Let's see, man body skin 1. Press enter, and then you can see already that we've got it working. Oh, for some reason I didn't save it. Man body skin 1. Press enter on that, and there we go. Okay, so we've managed to apply this texture to all of them without unpacking, basically. So you can see how this goes, right? So we just keep adding these styles to add different layers. So it is quite repetitive, right? So you know, I'll do a few here, and I'll record them all, but again, you know, once you get the idea, you can you don't need to watch the video if you don't want to. You can do it yourself. But what I'm going to do, so to get the variation, we use that rand attribute, right? So I'm going to control and paste, right click and rename F2. So I'm just going to use the shortcut from now on. So I'm just going to call this body 2, enter, jump in here. So now, okay, we need another condition here. Add condition, okay, because we've got the man, but also the other condition is now it's applying the material to everybody, so it's applying the man texture to the women. So because I've got a star in here, but what I want to do is use that rand attribute. So if I put out rand is equal to 1, that should work for me. Let's see. Oh yeah, so I need to give it a different texture. Yeah, so if so that'll make a selection of everybody who's got the random value of 1, but then, you know, they've already got it, so it's not going to change yet. What I need to do also is give it a different material. So if I come here and just change this to 2, hopefully you should see a difference. Let me make sure we're grabbing that material. Skin 2, close. This needs to be point group, I believe. Yeah. Okay, so there we go. Grab that and then come back to that material. Body skin 2. There we go. Now we've got, don't know why that's not saving. Body skin 2, press enter. There we go. Okay, so we got that on point, the random value there. Okay, so then I can just duplicate this again. I'll press F2, 3, enter, open that out, just changes to 2 there, and 3 here. And there we go, we've got the 3 different textures applied randomly over all of the male agents, and that's the basis of our of the setup here, right? So next is just going to be copying and pasting this multiple times, okay, quite a lot of times. Luckily, you know, we don't have to actually create everything from scratch. We just copy and paste and then change textures and so forth. Okay, so I'll leave that there for now, and in the next video I'll complete the textures.